All right, all right, all right. I'm not starting from the beginning. I should have restarted. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that happened. That's annoying. I hope people find the show and come back for part 2 because Poppy's going to call in any minute now. So I'm just looking at my Farrago, trying to figure out where to start the timer. It was about 1 hour in, and we were talking about Nick Fuentes. Maybe I'll begin there again. Let me see, or we can just start with Poppy. I don't know, whatever. It'll be kind of weird on the podcast, but I'll cut it together. It just annoys me because that means it's more work. You know what I mean? It's more work for me. For those who don't know, and you're stumbling upon the show as its own thing, my computer froze in the middle of the show, so I had to restart. And we're redoing the show. Oh my God, Richard, you're so sweet. Another great show, Tara. That's so funny. I should just keep restarting, I guess. That's how we'll get all the super chats for tonight. Let's see. How's the mic? Is the mic still working? Okay, let me just text Poppy and tell her to call in. Call in when you can. Let's get back to work. All right, let me see. I'll start the timer now. I'll start it like right here. And hope it's good. All right, let me see. We were talking about Nick Fuentes. Let's see. He was talking. Let's just get to the.
Recognize the fact that this is a godless country.
Let's just get to the end bit where he says, he gives away the game.
Later, if people want me to, but that's a whole other discussion, really. But the point is, when you look at these things like abortion, it's popular. People like abortion. Hate it, but it's true. And you can thank the Jewish media for that.
Oof.
Abortion's popular. Sodomy's popular. Being gay is popular.
Yeah, you're
being
gay.
Feminist is popular.
It is popular.
Sex out of wedlock is popular. Contraceptives are. It's all popular.
Can you believe the way he says that too?
That's not to say I like that.
Sex out of wedlock is
which they do.
Sex out of wedlock is popular. Wedlock. What is wedlock? This is the 21st century. Young man. Thank God young people are progressive and not this. I would hate to live in a world where this were the majority of young people. Sex out of wedlock is popular. He hates sex out of wedlock because he hates himself. You understand? He's an incel, probably because he's a closet case. He hates women. I mean, it all fits. If all gays suddenly turned purple, he would look like a Teletubby, that's for sure, right? For real. I wish that would happen just for an hour, and everybody would just be, you can't hide in the closet anymore. Get help. Get the help you need, Nick Fuentes. You're sick. You are a self-loathing closet case? I think you are. I mean, I'm saying legally and peacefully, I think you are. You're screaming. You give me that vibe. I don't know if you are, but you definitely scream, the misogyny. It all points to you being a self-loathing closet case. They've done studies on self-loathing closet cases, and they are, and homophobes are gay. That's the bottom line. Yes, Poppy, I'm back. We're back. We are back and better than ever. You should call in, Poppy. Poppy's in the chat room, for those who are wondering what I'm talking about. I was on live, but My computer didn't know it. I got to get a new computer. That's what this really does boil down to. Please become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Yes, Lindsey Graham would turn purple. That's for sure. It's true. They hate themselves. It's because, the party of rugged individuals. Try being a rugged individual in the Republican Party, and you see what they got for you. They don't want rugged individuals. They want someone who is subservient to the patriarchal power structure. That's it. If you can't step out of that line, they'll accept a gay person, right? Like the Milo, whatever the hell his name is now, I don't know. He says he's a reformed gay now. Because he's perfect he's a perfect Republican because he is starved for attention. It's sociopathy, narcissism, and he's starved for attention. So he wasn't getting attention as the gay conservative anymore because he's just a vile, offensive, mediocre, racist, frankly, and self-loathing, openly gay, whatever. At the time, he was openly gay. Now he says he's reformed. But he wasn't getting enough attention for that, so he went to, now I'll really trigger the libs and say that I'm straight now. Well, good luck with that. It's a ruse. It's like Donald Trump's university or the vitamin scam. It's just another grift. It's all a grift. Everything is a grift with them. It's even when that band from the bowling alley, Boebert, when she put those guns behind her, when she was on that Zoom call. She's a member of the House of Representatives, and she's, hey, honey, we're going to have a Zoom call with the members of the House of I'm a fucking member of the House. Can you believe it? Well, what do I do? What are we going to do with this backdrop? And then she just randomly piles a bunch of guns on top of each other in this haphazard, disjointed looking, right out of Mad Max hellhole way, right behind her. As she thinks, this is real. That is a grift, too. It's all an act. It's all a show for dumbasses. It's all performative. There's nothing of substance there. But I'll get to Poppy in 1 second.
And
I'll just finish up with this Rick Fuentes Nazi closet case.
And it sucks, and it is what it is. But that's why we need dictatorship. That's unironically why we need to get rid of all that. We need to take control of the media or take control of the government and force the people to believe what we believe. Or force them to play by our rules.
Do you see that?
And reshape the society.
Haven't I been saying that forever? This is what they're about. They hate democracy. In the same 5-minute span, he talks about, we're not a democracy, thank God. And then he gets to, we need to be a dictatorship because there aren't enough of us, and we will force everyone to abide by our will and play by our rules. Which their rules are. I mean, we've seen that before. The rules are, getting it's only a shower or whatever, because that's where it goes. This is what I say all the time. On some level, Nick Fuentes at least is saying it out loud. The rest of them, this is the agenda. They have the same agenda, except they mask it or whatever. I can't talk. Why can't I talk? All right. I know somebody who can talk, though, and her name is Poppy Champlin. Hello, Poppy. What a show.
Hey, Tara. How are you?
I'm all right.
Wow. Yeah, you good?
I'm all right. The show.
Some funny stuff, man.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Cracking up.
Oh, that's good.
Really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
you are. You're funny.
Oh,
yeah,
you're
you don't
so.
pull any punches. I love it.
Well, I'm glad that you're on the show, and I have to have you on the show more often to tell me things like that, because
You don't realize that you're funny.
no, I don't know.
No.
I don't know. You're funny. You're funny.
No,
So,
you're
Pop,
funny. Because I think when you get angry, though, it does. I
Gets-
mean, it's the comedy, tragedy
right?
stuff.
Of course, yes, definitely. I mean, you have to laugh at it. It's. I mean, I often wish I could just know what's going to happen, and then I'd be a lot less crazy about it. You know what I mean? Like I would.
Oh,
It's the stress of not knowing. That's why when I was in my active addiction, I used to go to a lot of psychics.
Oh yeah.
You know, because I would.
Oh, really?
I wanted to know what was going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
is there a reason to keep going? Wait, I
Like-
just have to say something. There's something wrong with my eye. It's very red. I just want people to know. I don't know what it is. I think I have something in my eye, and it started last
Let's
night.
see it.
Yeah, it's very red.
Stick it right up to the camera.
No, it's weird,
I'm
and
sorry,
I'm
you
looking
got, like,
at it.
pink
It's
eye or
looking
something?
very. I don't know. I mean, it started last night. I feel like I have something like on the top. Maybe I have pink eye. I don't know. I feel like it's
Well,
on the
maybe.
top because when I was
Maybe you got bit
sleeping,
by a tick.
I got bit on my eye. But when I
Ooh, like a spider.
it's very red, right? But last night when I woke up, it was like all crusty on my eye. So now I'm looking at the camera, and I could see it's
That
very
means
red.
that Krusty the Clown,
Clown.
came and visited you.
Really, Krusty the Clown.
Yeah.
And that's
Came
kind of
and
gross.
Visited you last night.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's gross.
Disgusting. Anyway, I just figured
So
I'd
what
say
do you-
something about
what
it.
are you doing- What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I'm
Anything?
going to my cousin's house.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. Do you have to bring a dish?
No, I mean no.
No. Oh,
No,
so
I don't
lucky.
bring. Fucking nobody wants me to bring a dish. I suck at everything. That I would bring I'll bring some dessert things. Whatever.
No, okay.
Whatever.
No cooking. Do you cook like I do? Like
I
I
don't
look in the
cook.
refrigerator and I don't look at to see what would go good together. I look and I see what's going bad, and that's what I gotta cook.
Right. Yes. I usually
Yeah,
just get
yeah.
on a kick of cooking. I don't cook much, okay? But I'll just cook, I'll eat the same thing every day for a long time. Hold on. I'll be right back with Poppy Champlin.
Oh.
All right, we're back. Poppy Champlin. I'm looking for your lower third. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
My
Poppy
lower
Cham-
third. Well, I didn't
Your
know I had a
lower
lower
third.
third.
Yeah. that. Looking for your lower third. Yeah.
Here's a carpentry joke. If anybody in the chat room is a carpenter, did I already tell you this one about how
I don't know.
I was working on my friend Norma's porch the other day, and I realized that my hips and my ass are exactly 16 inches on center.
Really?
It's a funny joke.
I don't know what that means, but
I know, but if
Is
you
that
were a carpenter, you'd be laughing your ass off.
Right, it's one of those. You got to be a carpenter. Well, I guess some carpenters would understand that. I don't know what you're talking about. But what are you how you feeling about the election? Pretty good?
Oh, I'm thrilled.
I
am
know.
so thrilled.
Isn't it a relief?
I mean, Rhode Island was totally blue. Like we came through like Democrats all the way.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a totally blue wave here.
That's great.
And I said this other thing, we went to the polls, and there's all these names that you probably didn't hear. I don't know. We had Alan Fung went against Dan McKee, and somebody else went against Victoria Gu, and somebody at McEntee. Anyway, so I get to the polls, and everybody's outside with all their signs for their candidates and everything. And of course, in Rhode Island, the first thing I read is Fungu.
Fungu? Isn't that like a curse?
It It's a total Italian curse. And those
Right.
were the two signs.
Fungul, right.
Fung and Victoria Gu was Fungul.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
Yeah, I know.
That's
It
good.
was great.
That's like lesbians against
Yeah.
cocks, right? There was who's that? There was some one of the candidates was named Cox, and they had
Oh,
signs.
really?
Yeah, and they said and it said lesbians against cocks.
Oh, that's funny. Well, isn't there some guy in it that his last name is Kotex or something? Who's that guy?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that guy. There's a guy named Kotex in the race.
Well, I think it's Kotex, but it
Oh.
looked like Kotex to me.
Like Kotex, the Night Stalker. Yes, yes. Remember Kolchak, the Night Stalker? That was when I was a kid. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
No, but I'm pretty. I
New
feel.
York.
No, New York it's pretty disappointing in this way. That okay, a couple of things. The fact that the map that the Democrats drew, that it was thrown out by a judge as being too biased. See, this is the thing. That's why we didn't. We're not in control of the House yet. If that map went through, we would have won the House handily. And we lost a lot of Democratic seats here, including the chair of the campaign of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. He lost his seat. And yeah, for a Republican. So there were this fucking Lee Zeldin pipsqueak guy. I don't understand. He looks like a pasty-faced Nazi to me. And just putting that aside, he is a pasty-faced Nazi, you know? And but he a lot of the Republicans were really fired up about getting him in office. He's one of these January 6th traitors. You know, he's one of the texts to Kevin McCarthy and talking about how we can overthrow the election. I mean, this fucking Lee Zeldin ran for governor. Of course, thankfully, Kathy Hochul won, but
yeah.
The Republican base here, or whatever. There's a lot of Republicans in certain parts of New York, and Lee Zeldin pulled them. He may not have won the governor, but he, and I guess they ended up voting for all Republican down the ballot. So we would already be in the majority in the House if the map wasn't thrown out. Let's put it that way. But all over the country, Republicans have gerrymandered their districts in ways that they'll never lose their seats, like Jim Jordan's district. Many of these most disgusting Republicans are in the safe seats. And in fact, the other thing is Ron DeSantis. You know, this is one thing. The media, the corporate media, continues to suck. Okay, they really do. They what they put us through these last 2 years, constantly beating the drum that the Democrats are going to lose, and Joe Biden is so unpopular, and don't worry, women don't care about abortion anymore because milk is fucking high now, and gas prices are high, and that's all we kept hearing. How the historical headwinds and all. But so now they're talking about DeSantis, right? They're saying, he had a big night and all that. Well, that might be true, but he also he was in charge of drawing this incredibly favorable map that it's an extremely gerrymandered map in the Republican favor. And so the media just says, oh, what a great night DeSantis had or whatever. But they're not putting it in context. They're not, connecting the dots, right? Shit.
How are they able just to change the maps like that?
It has to do with the census, and then I don't know the whole back and in fact here in New York, they changed a lot of districts, and like AOC lost some parts of her district, and then they went into another district. So I don't really know how they do it, but they understand that, it's important to have. That's why it's important to have a Democratic legislature in your state, so they do not, fuck with the maps. But the thing is, of course, both parties have done it over the years, like gerrymandered and then re-gerrymandered. But which is why you should just. And the other thing is, it should just be it should be drawn by nonpartisan, whoever. There should be a nonpartisan board that draws the maps, and that should be the end of it. But the Republicans always fight that because they know that if that is the case, they will never win an election again. The only thing they have going for them is are their dirty tricks, are the gerrymandered maps. The only thing they have going for them, the gerrymandered maps, the voter suppression, all of that. They don't have policies and they don't have the majority. They are not a majority party. They never were.
Right.
They never. Oh, they won't. They will never be a majority party. That's why they're talking about, like, with the young people came out in record numbers. The Gen Z came out, and they've overwhelmingly voted Democratic. And now, what are the Republicans talking about? Raising the age to vote.
The age of voting.
Yes. And you bet. And if it were the opposite, what do you think they would? Do you think they would be proposing that? Of course not. They're so transparent. So let me see. As far as Florida, it says in this from 538, they said when Florida started the process of redrawing its congressional districts after the 2020 census, the prospects for a fair map in the Sunshine State looked bright. A map with only a mild Republican bias passed the state Senate on a bipartisan vote. But then Governor Ron DeSantis got involved. Rumor has it DeSantis wants to run for president in 2024, and that means he needs proving to the Republican base that he's a tough, unflinching conservative warrior who will wipe the floor with Democrats at every turn. So he made the extraordinary decision to propose his own congressional map. And I remember this. And why doesn't the corporate media bring this up when they're lauding him and lionizing him as the future, right? So it says he drew his own congressional map, one that draws as few Democratic districts as possible. At first, the legislature just brushed him off and pushed ahead with its own map, but DeSantis threatened to veto it. So the legislature proposed a compromise. Hold on, here comes the music. We'll be right back with Poppy Champlin. Poppy Champlin and Tara Devlin here on Tarabuster. So I'm reading this article about how DeSantis gerrymandered himself into this incredible victory that everybody's saying, oh, he's great. He really had a decisive victory. Well, he drew his own congressional districts that, favored him. So it says, so at first the legislature just brushed him off and pushed ahead with its own map, but DeSantis threatened to veto it. So the legislature proposed a compromise between DeSantis's map and and its own DeSantis vetoed it. Finally, the legislature caved. In April, it announced it wouldn't propose any more maps and would vote on whatever map DeSantis wanted. It was a huge political victory for DeSantis. Not only did he cement his status as the top dog in Florida politics, he also took credit for adding more new Republican seats to the House of Representatives than any other state. The map that ended up passing is redder than I would be after 3 hours on the Miami beach. It contains 18 Republican-leaning seats, only 8 Democratic-leaning seats, and just 2 highly competitive seats. That's 4 more Republican seats than under the old lines and 6 more than they would get under a perfectly fair map, according to one metric. And by this measure, Florida's new map is this close to being the worst gerrymandered map in the nation. If this were the Daytona 500, it would be a photo finish. The most controversial change is the ratification of Democratic Representative Lawson's district in North Florida. Under DeSantis, this district, which was designed to elect black voters candidates of choice, goes from a plurality black to a majority white district, leaving black people in North Florida without a vote in Congress. But this is, I mean, they don't fucking say, on the corporate media, have you heard anything about this? Even on the so-called liberal media? They are not connecting the dots. They're just saying how he won a decisive victory, and now Florida can now not be called a purple state anymore. It's now a solidly red state because of this goddamn cheating map that they made. That DeSantis drew deliberately to solidify his political ambitions. And it's, it's so disgusting how the media, the so-called fourth estate, that we're supposed to keep people informed. But what do? All they do is enable the corruption by putting this down the memory hole, if they even talked about it at all. It's incredible, right?
Florida has always been like the leader of corrupting the vote.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
It feels like it. Like ever since Bush won.
Right.
And then Gore Bush, that whole thing, and then that female that was down there and she did something to the vote. I don't know.
Oh, Catherine Harris. That was during Bush v. Gore. Yep, exactly. Well, they know, they purged the voter rolls of people who had the same names, the Democrats. They in African American communities. Those, like, for example, people who had, the name Johnson or whatever, which is a common name. If then they had, Ed Johnson. Well, this must be fake, so someone with the same, there's a lot of people with that name. And then they threw them all up the fucking rolls. Isn't that incredible? They were like, oh, well, Ed Johnson is a felon, so we got to get rid of Ed Johnson. But there's 10 Ed Johnsons and they all happen to be Democrat. Well, fuck them all, throw them all up. This is what they did. That's what Catherine Harris did. I mean, it's just, it never stops. Because they are the enemies, the domestic enemies. The founders warned us, but there's no doubt. Look at them. They're in the middle of a coup. They're the only party that is anti-democracy. Wait, what just happened? Did they call the Senate? Did they call?
Oh yeah, 49-49. That's what Terry just said.
Okay, good. Who did they call? Was it Arizona? All right, Kelly in Arizona. Woo! Come on, Nevada. Nice. Next is Nevada.
Awesome.
Next is Nevada, baby.
So cool. I can't even understand Herschel Walker. How can
I
they vote for this
know.
guy?
It's horror. And that's
Can't even understand what the hell he's
exactly.
saying.
And they have nerve to make fun of John Fetterman, who is recovering from a stroke. They all over Fox News. They're mocking him and calling him. You know, of course they are, of course, but.
Of course.
Look at Herschel fucking who could understand? And not only does he not have the ability to talk in a way that is understandable, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He, you know, like he just. I don't know. He thinks that I don't know. There's many crazy things. Like he's just I mean, really, the whole candidacy. Yes, that's what it is. That's why it's so offensive. They're like, oh,
he's just a placeholder.
Right. Well, because he's black, you know, so he's got darker pigment, and they needed somebody to go up against Warnock because he's got darker pigment. So you got your guy with darker pigment. Here's our guy. That you can't get anybody decent. That's what you got. Because he's a celebrity.
Exactly.
Because he played football. He's a name. People know him. I mean, it's so the cynicism. And then they have the nerve to say that Fetterman isn't fit for the job or whatever when he's recovering. You can never recover from being, somebody like Herschel Walker. That's who he is. That's
who he is.
And it's at least John Fetterman is getting better by the day. He's got problems with auditory whatever that can heal, and who cares?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
FDR had polio, so know, whatever.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's a good comparison.
It's true, but you know they suck. Republicans are just they never stop. I mean, if only if they're as they're mocking Fetterman, this is what drives me insane. It's that, like we're saying, look at your own candidates. What's Herschel Walker's excuse? You're saying Fetterman can't talk. What is Herschel Walker's excuse? Right? He can't talk. He can't talk. I don't know what the hell he's saying.
He's just got that Southern accent that's so thick, and that black Southern accent.
Right.
The way that they talk is like, I don't know what he's saying.
I don't know what he's saying.
Then he was like reciting a joke. He did talk about a joke about shoveling cow shit or something.
Oh yeah, there must be a pony on here. I remember that.
Right.
But no, but then he was what's the other thing he said? Remember recently, right after another woman came out and said that he forced her to have an abortion or pressured her.
God.
He told a story. It was I think it's up to 3 publicly, but I'm sure there are more. But and and he told a joke. He was like, "There's a bull and he's in the field, and he impregnated a cow, and then he saw 3 other cows in the other field, and he was like, oh." He's got to get over there to, because he's got it going on. Hello. He's talking about a bull that's running around a field impregnating cows.
Oh, no.
And because he's got it going on.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Why? And then they have the fucking nerve. Right. And they have the nerve to mock Fetterman. You know what I mean? It's like, hello? And then they have Lindsey Graham come out there who literally crying, saying, if you vote, you got to support Herschel. Because...
Oh, really?
Because Herschel Walker, if young people see Herschel Walker, young black people, they might be Republicans too. Wait, hold on. You know what? That's the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. Hold on, Poppy. This is not the end of the show, but we will win. We will, because we're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. We stick together. We win. I am Tara Devlin. I'll see you soon. You gotta wait for the music. Wait for the music. All right.
I don't hear any music.
It's in my head. I don't know. You should hear it. It doesn't work though. Who cares? I can tell you the music is playing. And now it's stopped. So okay, we're back. We're back for the second half of the show because the first half got frozen, like Madonna's song "Frozen." Frozen when your heart's not open. That's probably why it froze. Because my heart's not open.
Because your heart's not open.
Boo, 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 boo. Well, let me see what's going on with Lauren Boebert. Banned from the bowling alley, Boebert. Is she still in the lead? This sucks. I was so...
What's she?
Well, she's that monstrosity. She's the monstrosity, a horrible person through and through. You want to talk about quality candidate quality? They got Lauren banned from the bowling alley, Boebert. She got banned from a bowling alley.
Because she brought in a gun or something?
No, because her husband exposed himself to some underage girls in the bowling alley. Yeah, she's a real winner, this one. And then there's others.
Oh my God.
But she's in danger of losing her seat. And so that's why it's, let me see. What am I looking up? Congress, vote count. So last time we had a show on Wednesday, we were watching the vote count. I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit, this guy's ahead, And now it's gone to, let me see, she's ahead. That bitch is ahead. Aww.
Oh, really?
Yes, unfortunately. It's in Colorado, but she's only ahead by like 1,000 votes. So there will be a recount, and let's hope. And it says 99% reporting. So she's got 50% 0.2, and he has 49.8. So, so 162,040 votes. That's what Miss Band from the bowling alley has. And Adam Frisch has, 160,918. So she has like 1,000 votes. That's it. That's pretty good.
That's not a lot.
Not a lot. So she could lose in I don't know, and it's only 99%. So there's another 1%. Hopefully, I don't know. I mean, she's just a horrible person. That's for a House seat, but it would be one House seat that no one was expecting the Republican to lose. So that would be a real surprise. So it would be great to get rid of her.
Like the Democrats did so much better because now is Biden an incumbent president? Is that the word?
What? He's not. What do you mean? Incumbent? No, incumbent is when, you won and you're going into office. You see what I'm saying? And you're not in office yet. No, I'm sorry. I'm confused for a second. No, the incumbent, yes, is the person who has the seat already. So she's the incumbent. Yeah.
She's the incumbent. But Biden's the incumbent, right?
Yeah, well, he's not on the ballot, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he's the incumbent president right now.
Right.
And they're saying that second half, this voting that we just did, midterm voting, like usually the incumbent party loses a lot of seats.
Yes.
But we didn't lose what they expected.
Yeah.
We were gonna
well,
lose.
That's what they're saying. Like, well, for this is in defiance of history. For the past however many years, the incumbent president in the midterm gets thumped, and it just didn't happen this time, and it's due to the Republicans. That's really is because they're insurrectionists, they're traitors. I guess that's a bridge too far for a lot of people, which is good news.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're horrible.
I think the women's reproductive rights and
That
gay
too.
rights and the
Of
planet.
course.
I think those are the three biggies.
Yes, and young people, the good thing that young people are awake, and for the majority, not all of them, we got to get more of them awake and out there voting. And they understand what's at stake. It's everything from climate change to their democracy itself. What kind of country are we going to live in?
Right.
We can easily slip
what is
into
the voting age? 18?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The voting age is 18.
Since after Vietnam, it's a constitutional amendment because at that time, young people were going and dying in a war, and they weren't able to vote, and they changed. The Constitution changed.
That's ridiculous.
I know, but now, of course, Republicans want to change it back because because the young people are voting Democratic. The writing is on the wall for them, which is great. Because
well, they should just get on board the real. The issue train, man.
No, what do you mean? What issues? They have no issues. If you hate you hate the essence of the country, they hate this country. You understand? And I mean it.
No, I don't.
I mean it.
I don't believe it.
Yes, they do. They love the stars. They love the bars. They love wearing shirts with eagles on it. Yeah, they love all the the superficial things about the country. They love waving a flag. They don't know what it means. You understand? This is a constitutionally limited democratic republic, nation of immigrants. It's the only country that is built on an idea, okay? And they and the idea of e pluribus unum. They hate everything about this country. In fact, even the national motto, e pluribus unum. They fucking hate that. You go on Twitter. It means out of it means out of many one, right? So, but they change it all the time. This drives me up a wall. You go on Twitter or wherever, and they'll say our national motto, "In God We Trust." They constantly say that "In God We Trust" is our national motto. This is not true. It is not our national motto, but they keep saying it. Because they hate this fucking country. So that is another example. They want to change this country into what they are, what they can accept, and they do it under the guise or behind the veneer of patriotism when it's not patriotism. You can't be a patriot if you hate everything about your country. They hate that this is a secular country, that the founders put up a wall of separation between church and state. They hate that.
Right.
Everything about it. They hate. I'm telling you. They hate when, they can only stand democracy if they win. So that's not patriotic. You have to, the country is a nation of immigrants. There's no getting around that. They hate that, So everything about that is actually the essence of America, they hate. So, they hate this country. And because they're not only do they hate it, they're confused by it. What if you ask them, what is this country? What does America mean? Freedom. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Freedom from what?
Right.
Freedom to go pew pew, to wear a gun, like that's not freedom. You sound someone who can't leave and go to Walmart or where I wouldn't be caught dead in a Walmart, but whatever. But go to whatever. Can't go shopping without a gun. Can't leave your house without a gun. You're not free. You're not.
No, that's
you're scared. Exactly. You're not free. They have this twisted notion of freedom, which is that they you can't force me, to give a shit about anybody else but myself. And that's freedom to them is selfishness.
That's a good one. You just nailed it right there, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is. They can only handle democracy. It's like, I call them, they are like Goldilocks. Goldilocks, and the three bears. So when she went into their home, and this is too hard, this is too soft, this is just right. That's how they look at.
Is that something?
What?
Is that something Herschel Walker was doing?
He would probably tell that story too, but it would have a different meaning. But
yeah. Go ahead, you finish.
No,
yours.
but I mean, like that's the way they are about government. They are like Goldilocks. Government is the size of government is just right, only in the ways it serves them. You see, if they get a benefit from it, then it's that's
right.
Just of course, But if someone else, if they perceive another getting something, then they're taking advantage. That's too big. I mean, they're like that. They're babies. And they don't understand that, that's what is e pluribus unum. You can't love your country when you hate everybody in it. So
I loved it when Biden, when there was backlash against the student forgiveness loans, and people were like, no, you can't do that for them.
Right.
And he's like, how about all the other senators and every fucking person who got so much money from the COVID
Exactly.
shit?
Exactly.
And I can't give a couple of students $20,000.
I know. Well, that's what they do all the time, and they're constantly dividing everyone. Even with the student loan thing, they're like, "Oh, I don't want to pay your student loan. I didn't take out a loan." Right. It's like everybody has to be like, "Oh, this is not fair." It's not fair to me. Right. It's like, don't you understand that it's not good to live in a country where we're churning out not educated citizens but indentured servants to banks. So where people can't get established, they can't get started because they are so saddled with this debt from this racket, which is, it's only a new thing that you come out with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and other countries figured it out years ago. It's an investment in the future. Why wouldn't you want to send people to school? But they're always like, oh, well, I'm not paying your gender studies degree. They'll say shit like that. I hate them. But, genders, and I always say too, gender studies degrees are the mark of civilization. You should fucking be proud that we live in a civilized society, that we can, we've so taken care of the basic needs of the people, right? So we're not out there digging wells or hunting or growing out in the fields from sun up to sundown, right? We could sit now. That's the benefit of. That's why so many people fought and bled and died, right? They fought so we didn't have to live like that, right? So we could sit around and talk about ourselves and contemplate our fucking navels and think about, write poems, write books. Have gender studies classes. Really? Oh, I hate them. They suck. Anyway, hello. What were you saying?
When do you think the whole, the greed? I mean, it's not human nature. You know what I mean? Like money and greed. Like,
yes.
Where did it come from? I mean, who invented money? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I don't know about that.
It must go all the way back.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, money. It's the selfishness. There has to be, that's a cultural thing, though. It really is. It's when I think about, who invented, I don't know. I guess there used to be a bartering system, and I don't know how.
Right.
The whole history of money.
Well,
but
I I guess I can answer part of that. My own question was, I was listening to something on the radio the other day, and it was about taking care of your family versus your neighbor's family, and you're gonna try and get all the stuff that your family needs before your neighbor can get it, or something. So
right.
So, it's the children, and I know I don't like children. And
but children are the future.
It's their fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it is a cultural thing because I think about, I don't know, in other other civilizations throughout history, there were, think about the Roman citizen. There were certain, they would call it dignitas, and it was sort of like accolades or status that you would get by doing something for the government, and you would do it out of your goodness of your heart.
Money?
And you would never get, the senators, and that's a whole other story. I mean, they never got paid for it. Of course, there was a lot of dirty, underhanded dealing going on too, but there was the citizen. There was a citizen, a pride in being a citizen, so, and giving back to the communities and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, we don't have that here, so that's why I always.
Well, you got what, Peace Corps or something? Or?
Well, I mean, this is part of the problem, and this is why one of the things that drives me crazy about Joe Biden is he's always like, we're the United States. The United States. There's nothing.
What's wrong with that?
But because, I don't mind it at all, but I feel like, there's nothing we can't do but what? Universal health care? Universal higher education? Universal...
Women's rights?
Yeah, like there's nothing we can't do except, shit that we need to do. And in my opinion, we must... we must have universal health care. So, as not just as fair and moral and more cost effective as it is, it's all those things, but as a patriotic imperative that will unify people. It's about, are we Americans or not? What's the benefit to being a citizen? There should be some benefits to being a citizen, right?
Yeah.
And that's not just
like
that you can fucking like wave a flag. You know what I mean? So it's like that's even being a Roman citizen, for example, that had its benefits. That's why people wanted to be citizens from other places. Like even in the Bible, there's the letter, one of the letters of Paul to whoever, he was arrested or something, and he's writing, I'm a Roman citizen, and and he's saying it not because of whatever. He's saying it because you have to treat me a certain way. I'm a Roman citizen. You can't treat me like this. And so, what's the difference? What do we get from being a citizen in this country? There's this. You're on your own. You're constantly on your own. You're constantly being, told, I guess, pull yourself up by your bootstraps or whatever. It's just, I'm talking about healthcare in particular. Just today, I saw something, a tweet or something about a guy who had who was diagnosed with diabetes, and it says his private insurance immediately kicked him off, and
oh my God.
Yeah, I mean they find any reason. I don't know how. Let me see. Let me look at this. But this happens all the time. If you have a chronic condition in this country, you better consider yourself lucky if you don't. And this is the thing I always would tell people, about who are like, we got the greatest healthcare. No, we don't. We have the greatest anything if you're rich. But we have
Right.
the measurably worst health care in the industrialized world. That ranks dead
Really?
last. Yes, it consistently ranks dead last in all positive measures. It costs more, double, than the next most expensive. It leaves millions out. It bankrupts millions. It needlessly kills thousands every year. 45,000 Americans needlessly die because they don't go to a doctor. And they have treatable things that, they can't afford. They can't afford to go to a doctor. So they don't. And they die. And that, that's... we would not stand for this in any other industry. And name an industry. What if the auto industry needlessly killed 45,000 Americans every year? If we would put an end to it, there would be some major reforms. Same thing with this health insurance racket. But they buy politicians, and that's how it goes. So we keep, it's like no other country. It is heartbreaking, to me, because in no other country do you have to have these problems. And it's the stress of being, just simple stress of being an American that's why we are, the life expectancy in this country is worse than in some, let me see, it's getting worse here, life expectancy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I believe that. Like,
It's
I got
going
stressed
down.
out the other day so bad I thought I was having a heart attack.
What happened?
Turns out it was acid reflux. But
Exactly. Let me see.
I got shit going wrong, man. My foot's all fucked up.
What's the matter?
I got the hot foot.
What does that mean?
got
What's
hot
hot foot?
I
That's
got
a
hot
thing?
foot.
That's a thing?
It's a fucked up hot foot. That's
I don't know what that is. You keep saying something. I don't know what it means.
It's in the ball of my foot. It's in the ball of my foot. It wakes me up in the middle of the night.
It's
so
called
like
hot
on fire.
foot? Really? It's called
No, I
hot
made it up.
foot? Oh, okay.
No, I made
thought it
that
was
up.
a thing. So why don't you go to the
Well, when I
fucking
get up-
doctor?
I did. They gave me insoles.
Oh. It's just that's all you can do is have insoles? It's just like maybe physical therapy?
He thinks I have a pinch. He thinks I have a pinch nerve in my ball of my
could
foot.
be. That's what it does sound like. Yeah. It does. It does. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, life expectancy of Americans fell precipitously in 2021, the sharpest 2-year decline in 2020 to 21 in nearly 100 years, and stark reminder.
Well, it's because we lost 5 million people.
Well, that's true, but
COVID.
no, it's not just the COVID. It's not just COVID.
No, I mean, didn't we lose 5 million people?
No, over a million.
Oh, that was
but
the
that's
world,
because of
the world.
Republicans. Yeah, it's not. It's on. If you compare us with the rest of the world, it's who also had a pandemic. It's not good. We are,
No, we were terrible.
not just with COVID. I'm talking about in general. Life expectancy
I know,
is falling because
I know, I'm
it's
just
anyway.
harassing
Whatever. You're just harassing me. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we gonna do? Yeah. So what do you think about Twitter? We only have 12 minutes left of the show.
What, Elon Musk?
Yes. What are your feelings about that?
I have a feeling he is going to become Trump. That's
Oh,
what
he's
I
a
think.
douchebag. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But he's like buying that soapbox.
Well, he's ruined it already, which keeps with my eternal hypothesis that Republicans destroy everything they touch. So it didn't take him long to destroy Twitter, because everything, he sucks. Right-wingers destroy everything they touch. And he bought that platform because he got triggered. You understand? He bought the platform. I have to tell you. Let me see. Let me look this up. because Republicans they're like they're emotionally stunted, so he bought the platform. Let's not forget, because he was triggered by someone getting dinged for an anti-trans tweet. So you see what I'm saying? So he was standing
Somebody
up.
got dinged.
Well, yeah, someone put something that was anti-trans on Twitter because this is the new Republican whipping post, and trans people. So someone attacked trans people, and Elon Musk. Someone said, "Oh, Elon Musk should buy this platform," and then he said, "Oh, I'll look into it." It's like it all snowballed from there. Yeah. So the whole thing was so he can protect, anti-trans hate, really.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was so that Trump could come back on and have his whole party back on Twitter.
True, but the fact is, one of the, Trump's, his own little social media platform, which is failing, by the way, like everything else he touches.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
Good.
I think one of the stipulations from the other investors who I think there's like a lot of financial bullshit going on well, I don't know. I think that because he sucks at business and they're losing money and whatnot. But one of the stipulations for them investing money was that he would not go back on Twitter. You know what I mean? Because he's the only thing that.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, because Trump. The only why would anybody go on Truth Social? It's
right?
All it is, a baby having a full diaper every day, and
What?
and that's Trump, and all of his sycophants.
What is Truth Social? What is it?
That's Trump's fucking social media thing, and it's
right. But what is it? Have you gone on it? What is it?
I haven't. I've seen it. Yeah, I mean, what is it? It's just Twitter.
It's Twitter, but
yes.
It's called social media?
It's Twitter.
Okay.
They have retruth instead
Why
of
are you going to get so mad at me when I'm asking you a question?
But I don't know. I'm not mad. That's how I talk. This is the way I talk. But, yeah, no, it's just, what is Truth Social? It's just, all it is they ripped off the Twitter code and they put their own little stupid shit in it. Retruth, okay. You like, everything is the same. It's the same platform, except because everything that Trump does is derivative of somebody else. Somebody else did it better. He's not a businessman. He's not good at anything. He sucks. He's not even good at being a human. So how could he be good at anything? He is a greed-centered ghoul who take somebody else's ideas. He has no ideas.
Right.
Like none of them do. He's got no ideas. So he has. I'm gonna do.
Ideas.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my own Twitter. Like what?
Yeah.
Who needs you? Nobody. I'm not. Do something. Why don't you invent something? You should have invented TikTok or something. You know what I mean? Like there's other things to invent. He would never, because he sucks. He's got no ideas. Everything that he's ever done is a ripoff of something that somebody else did better. Like
he's lazy.
Yes, exactly. Why would you come up with something new when you can just try to rip somebody? Like what? He's not a billionaire. This is the other thing. Why these dumbasses who follow him? Oh, he's rich. He's whatever. He might be rich with a third trophy wife, but he's not rich at all. He's the poorest, most sorriest soul that ever lived. Unfortunately, he's dragging us all down into his horrible black hole, And if you want to go there willingly with him, that says a lot about you. You know what I mean? And I'm not, and I don't want to go anywhere near you, but you know, you need help. He's a very sick person. He's really sick, and he's.
What was
no, go ahead. No, you go.
Well,
I've
he
been
blamed
talking.
he blamed Melania for something. What was that?
for picking Dr. Oz. You know, everybody, because it's not his fault, right? Everything is everybody else's fault. Well, that's the whole. I mean, he really does take the Republican mania to new heights, but that is Republicanism in a nutshell. You know what I mean? The party of personal responsibility. They never take responsibility for anything. So of course Trump that's their standard bearer. You know, yeah. No, I mean he's apparently railing against everybody, including Melania, for you know, all the bad candidates that he picked. So, you know, it's unbelievable, but no, it's not. It's not unbelievable. It's completely believable.
Right, it's not unbelievable.
But you know what is unbelievable is that there are still people who follow him, like who believe the con. I mean, a sucker is born every minute. Trumpanzees are living proof. It is incredible. Yep. And they're like, oh, you got Trump derangement syndrome. No, I don't have Trump. It's not derangement if you see him for what he is. He's vile. There is nothing redeeming about him. There is zero redeeming qualities to that man. He sucks at business. There's nothing about him that is even remotely commendable. You know, everything about him, he's like a greedy, nothing black hole of need, you know, and narcissism that just uses people.
There's something about him.
What is it?
He has a magnetism that
he does.
Men. Yes, he does.
Magnetism.
He's got a macho. Fuck you. I'll fuck you.
Which is
I'll fuck your wife. I'll fuck your brother. I'll fuck anything that, you know, people like for some reason. You know what I mean? And and that might be the greed. That might be the, you know, the come. It's something. That,
well, yeah, I guess it's that they want I guess I don't know what it is. Like, why do they look up to him? Oh, because he's I don't know. I'm really trying to process this. Because
he'll fuck you over, man. He'll take anything you give him. He'll take
bitch.
It and he'll wrangle it out of your hand and then throw it into the.
Really?
Like
he's not tough.
People like
no,
gangsters.
He's not tough though. He's a fragile little bitch. That's what he is.
That's what he really is.
Yes.
Down deep inside.
He's not a mobster. He's not a,
but
you know.
He portrays it that way.
No, he's really, I mean, the mobsters laugh at him, you know? I mean, the mobsters.
Do they?
Yeah, of course they do. They hate his guts. Of course. No, I mean, behind his back, you think they respect him? He's not respected. I don't know. I don't know mobsters. I used to know some mobsters.
I don't know mobsters. I don't know mobsters either.
Maybe. I think, I'm just saying, I'm not saying like specific mobsters hate him. I'm just saying they make a mockery of him.
You mean Vinny Vanchewy?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea what Vinny the Goon.
Gotta go ask Bobby.
Yeah, I don't know what Vinny Toonies thinks about him or whatever.
Yeah, Vinny Tuna Two-Face. Vinny Tuna Fish Sandwich.
Right.
Chomaki, he's down there.
I have no idea, but it's sort of like the real estate people of New York. They're not like, you know, they get together, the actual real estate developers of New York. They're not like, let's get Trump here. We can't start the meeting until Trump's here.
No.
Yeah, because
no,
they
I
know
don't think
he's
the
a
real estate-
he's a grifter. And then maybe now that I'm thinking about this, he does have dealings with mobsters, but they use him. You know what I mean? Like they will use Donald Trump because he is
I believe that.
because he's a crook like them, and but they know
Right.
they have to peel some off for him and give him his vig, but they don't respect him. They think he's a clown too. There's no doubt in my mind. They think he's a clown that they can manipulate, just like Putin does.
Yeah.
You think Putin is like,
Yeah.
oh, I get Trump on the phone. I must run my latest plans again by him. No.
Yeah. No.
No, not in the least.
No, I think Putin played him. Definitely.
Oh
played
yeah,
him.
because and even like years ago, Trump tweeted out, "Can Putin be my best friend?" Can you believe that? What a bitch! Could you imagine
Wow.
if
Wow.
Obama did something like that? Imagine, I mean, that's why I can't take them.
Yeah.
I cannot
right.
take them. They're traitors. They sell us out to anyone for a fucking bag of magic beans, or some grifter who and now they're like turning against him. Some of these Republicans. We'll see how long that lasts.
Finally.
We'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. Elise Stefanik tonight endorsed him. I am endorsing Elise Stefanik. All of these horrible people. She's a dead-eyed, little googly-eyed bitch. Legally and peacefully. Oh, she's another one. I hate them. I hate them legally and peacefully, I got my cat cam on. That's why. Do you see the cat cam?
I see that. That's cool.
That's why I'm like all the way in the
profile.
corner here.
Just
It's a
the
real
profile
high,
from
this
the
is like
producer.
a very highly produced show tonight. We got 3 screens happening. We got a cat. We got phones.
That's awesome. There you go. There's the producer's eye.
Yes. Yes. Look at the producer. Isn't he good? He's a good boy.
Yeah.
We only have a minute.
He's
Oh, did
being
I
nice
hit the
tonight.
fucking producer. You know what? I think the producer hit the button. This show is really off the rail. Well, the show is coming to an end. It is. It has to at some point in my for this evening. Not forever.
Well, thank you for having me on tonight.
Of course.
And yeah. I hope I see you soon.
Yes, you will.
And have a lovely Halloween. Have a lovely holidays and Turkey Day and all that.
Of course, you too. I can't believe it's already Thanksgiving. It sucks that the sun goes down. So, I hate that.
I
It
know.
was like
It's like
4
everybody has
o'clock.
to
I'm
go
like,
to bed
I
now.
know. I'm like, what is this? What is
o'clock.
this?
It's
Oh,
nuts.
Jesus Christ! I lost myself. Is it midnight?
crazy.
All right. Thank you, Poppy Champlin, and thank you all. Thank
right.
you, everybody, for hanging out. This is the end of the show. So, become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin, and we will win because we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. We're on the right side of humanity and manatees and all of it. We will win. Manatees. I like manatees.
That's a good one. You ought to keep that one.
I will.
like
I will.
that.
We
Yeah.
stick together. We win. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you, Poppy. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Good night, all.
What do you say, Tara Jr.? Oh, you're stepping on it again. Kitty Cam. All right, my friends. Thank you, Poppy. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Good conversation. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Become a patron at patreon.com. And remember to check out APS Radio News and give the show a good review on iTunes. And we will have a show during the week. How's that sound? All right, my friends. I got to go because I got another whatever ahead of me. Since I fucked up the show and the computer crashed. So I got to piece the show together. It's a big pain in the ass. And yeah, I want to get to bed. And my eye is bothering me. Maybe I have a sty. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It hurts a little. It hurts me. I'm hurt. I'm hurting, Junior. I don't need your abuse. All right, my friends. Love you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Richard and Jim and everyone who super chatted. Robin, thank you so much. And I will see you guys very, very, very soon.